Hello friends, my name is Sachin Chavhan and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about flowcharts. So let's start with our definition of a flowchart. So what exactly is a flowchart? So flowchart is nothing but a graphical representation of an algorithm. Okay, it is nothing but a graphical representation of an algorithm. So where if we say the word graphical, that means we are going to show some images or we are going to learn some kind of images with the flowchart. So flowchart also called as a flow diagram, macro flowchart, top-down flowchart or top-down diagram, process map, micro map, service map, symbolic flowchart and several level flowchart or several level diagram. It is called as a synonym for the flowchart. So it is nothing but a picture, okay, with the separate steps in it which process in a sequential order. As we have earlier discussed about an algorithm is nothing but an step-by-step execution of a program. So here flowchart is nothing but an step-by-step execution of an algorithm with the help of graphics. Okay, now when to use a flowchart? So flowchart can be used in a team building or when we are going to write a program with a team. To understand the basic concept, we are going to use the flowcharts. So flowchart is to understanding the how the process is done. Means if you are going to show a certain person that how you are working, you can show him by drawing a flowchart. So that is the understanding of how the process is done. Then study of a process improvement. If you need to implement the process, it can be shown by the flowcharts also. Then to communicate others how the process is done, that we have said earlier. To document the process, and when we planning a project, you need to use your flowchart. So there are certain kind of symbols in what we can say that there are certain kind of symbols used in flowchart, as flowchart is a graphical representation, and while we are working on a project in a different cities, it has to be well or properly documented, or it has to be an international criteria to write and flowchart. So there are certain kind of symbols used worldwide, where a symbol oval is used to represent a start and an end of a flowchart. Means if you see a flowchart, you can easily understand by seeing a oval statement at the start and an oval statement at the end. Then there is a parallelogram used to input and output statement, used for input and output statement. Okay, then there is a rectangle used for processing statement. Okay, then there is a decision making statement by a diamond button. Then there is an arrow means just the flow of any information from one kind of a flowchart to another kind of flowchart, or from one symbol to the another symbol, shown by arrows. Then there is a circle for the page connector, means if our flowchart is break because of a page end, so on the next page we are starting our flowchart by drawing this. Then off page connector, then predefined process, this symbol shows for predefined process. Then there is preprocessor directives, and there is a comment, means if we need to give additional information about a particular line or particular symbol of an flowchart, it can be shown by that comment section. Then there are advantages of using flowchart. Communication is the main advantage. Means when we are going to discuss, means when we discuss the project with our team members, they can understand it well also by using flowchart. Then there are effective analysis there, then proper documentation, efficient coding. When a person use flowchart before doing a coding, that means he knows what statements are or what process is executed after next, so it's efficient for the coding. Then proper debugging can be done by flowchart, means already the debugger team have seen the flowchart, the developer team have seen the flowchart, so they can debug the error properly. And then efficient program maintenance is also the advantage of an flowchart. So disadvantage of flowchart is also there, a complex logic. When there is a complex logic comes while drawing a flowchart, then flowchart becomes lengthy also. Then alternation and modifications are hard because flowcharts are the graphical representation. We cannot change the graphics entirely, so that is alteration and modifications hard. Reproduction, that means flowcharts are printed on a sheet that cannot be typed as an documentation again, so we need to start from the basics. So these are the disadvantages of flowcharts. So example of a flowchart, let's see. An oval statement for a start, an oval statement for a end. In this flowchart, we are going to show the sum of two numbers like 5 and 15 becomes 20 by flowchart. So start and stop. There is a parallelogram from input statement, there is a parallelogram from output statement. This is output statement and this is your input statement, okay, and this is your processing statement. So there is a rectangles are there for processing. So start, input the value a and b, sum of a and b, and the print the sum of a and b. So sum is nothing but a variable which are getting print, and then after this printing you or your program has to stop. So this is the basic of an flowchart. So I hope you understand the concept well. In the next lecture we are going to solve some algorithms with their explanation of a flowchart. Okay, so if you have any doubt, please comment me in your my comment section. Please let the channel subscribe, and thank you.